What the hell is that? Man, I love cats. Wow. So how's everybody doing in Classified Captures land? This is your host, Steve, and we're bringing you another episode. We got funny stuff in this one, I'm telling you now. We got some guy on a roof posing as the Grim Reaper, which is just the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And we got like baby Bigfoot, mermaids. Just watch the episode. Just watch the episode. What do you do when your neighbors tell you that they're going on vacation, but you notice movements in their home? Some will ignore it because it's not their problem. This lady chose to record and immediately wished she hadn't. She initially assumed it might be burglars, but once she hit the record button, she realized that whatever was in there was moving at inhumane speeds. The more she looked, the more she realized that whatever was moving in here didn't also have mass. It almost looked as though it was simply a shadow moving at high speeds within the garage. She tried to contact her neighbors but couldn't do so. She could call anyone and it would go through, but once she started trying to call her neighbors, the line just dropped. She initially believed it was all a coincidence, but the more she thought about it, the more she felt that whatever was in that room was just messing with her. What do you guys think? So this clip has been the center of debate on many paranormal platforms I'm part of. The uploader insists he's seen mermaids with his real eyes and interacted with them several times. He added this as proof of his interaction with them. For the first time in a long time, this didn't look like it was captured on a potato. That to many was real proof that he was telling the truth. To others, the fact that it was in high definition was proof he was not. They felt he might have created this using AI. The debate has gone on so long that some have just grown impatient. It's not uncommon to see comments like this under the clip. Everyone wants to know if it's real, and that includes me. A part of me really wants this to be real, but I gotta ask, does it look a bit digital to you? Whoa. What the hell is that? That looks like it's gonna be some kind of like a lighting cable or something that's firing. There's some faulty cable under there that's spitting out. I don't think this is paranormal. I think it's just something like that. Personally, I could be wrong. What do you think? So this post caught me off guard. This was the last thing I was expecting to see when I started searching for clips for the day. A 26-year-old man named Leon Gillespie was arrested in North Wales for standing outside a hospital dressed as the Grim Reaper while brandishing a scythe-like blade. He stood there silently for more than 50 minutes, staring at the patients of, and I can't even pronounce this, Ispiti Clan Quid Hospital? Something like that. He would have actually stood there longer if security services hadn't stepped in to arrest him. Imagine you being rolled in for surgery and you see this guy. Oh, God. So this lady in the video said something that's got me thinking real hard. Of according to her, the Epstein files did reveal a plan to reduce testosterone. Sorry. Oh, God. That other clip just tickled me. I'll try that again. So this lady in the video said something that's got me thinking real hard. According to her, the Epstein files did reveal a plan to reduce testosterone in men. To do this, the elite started putting estrogen in water to make them more feminine. As though that wasn't enough, they started to use the power of media, especially social media, to program men to abandon their masculinity. Why, though? Why do that? Well, the answer is simple: to have men who can't fight back against their rule and authority. No, that sounds like the kind of plot you see in a movie about a future where there are no men, or men who have become too weak or extinct. Now, I wish I could tell you this isn't true, but sadly I can't. I did some research and discovered that the average man today has less testosterone than an average man 100 years ago. The decline is more than 50%, with at least a 1% decline every year. It's actually a complex web of many factors, but what do you think? Are there actual people out there pulling the strings to make our men weaker? I'm not talking about me, of course. I'm all man. Oh, please share your thoughts.
It just came out in the Epstein files that the elites were purposely trying to lower testosterone in men so that men can't fight back, putting estrogen in the water. They're making men very passive and weak through social media. They're telling them, oh, your masculinity is toxic and you should actually just be super soft and sweet all the time and gentle and never fight against anything. It's to cover up the things that they're doing. Because if every single man had the mindset of, no, our job is to protect women and children no matter what, they would not be getting away with the things that they're getting away with.
And while you do that, let's analyze this clip. It starts off showing what looks like an alien staring directly at the man filming. He panics, then tries to get closer. The alien disappears from view and he never sees it again. This clip has gone viral many times. It dies off and then shows up again. The clip was allegedly captured in 2003 by a man named Stan Romanek. You look up the name and it's a real person. It even says alien abductee on one of his online profiles. Apparently, he has books on the subject. Not everyone's convinced about this, though. Some members of the community think he could have staged the whole thing for views, but let's pause for a minute. Social media was not as widespread in the early 2003s. There was no going viral then. What would have been the point in him staging this? Or do you think he could have done that to sell his books? You know what? I'll let you guys decide.
Whoa. Oh my god. What the f is that? Holy shit. Oh my god, what's it doing? Holy shit. Oh man. Where the f did it go? Oh my god. I can't believe it.
What do you think are the conditions needed to be met for a family to be haunted by ghosts? They were hanging out as a family when something all of a sudden throws away the board they're working with. They can't see what it is, but they feel the presence in the room. Curious, the mother throws a cloth in the direction they're feeling the presence, and it takes the form of an entity. This scares them, and they run. I mean, I probably would too. No one is spending time with something they can't see that clearly that has plans to hurt them. This woman uploaded this online asking for help. Apparently, this thing has been terrorizing them on that property. And I understand her plea, but I'm not sure why she's still there. Without provoking it, it's already out to get you. What happens when you try to exorcise it and fail? I think I'd just move out.
What is it? What is this?
Scared you, didn't it? Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie, this one got me too, and somehow it's still kind of cute. So I'm watching this viral clip, right? And out of nowhere, this glowing blue thing just launches out of a hole, and I'm like, oh, hold on, what am I looking at? Turns out this is an Australian wolf spider. And before you start thinking we've discovered some new glowing creature, relax, it's not actually blue. What you're seeing here is just lighting playing tricks on the camera. The head torch they're using during this night survey hits the spider's hairs at the perfect angle, reflecting back in a way that makes it look bright blue. In real life, in daylight, this thing is way less dramatic. You're looking at normal shades of yellow, cream, brown, and gray. Still fast, still aggressive, still jumps like it has something personal against you. Just not glowing as it crawled out of a sci-fi movie. So would you want one?
That right there is a green water snake. Oh my gosh. Woo!
Why? Just why? I've seen plots of this clip and I've always wondered why people do this. This young man has a thing for snakes and he always goes after them this way. Sure, this isn't the usual paranormal stuff we capture because there are no spirits here, but then again, this isn't normal, and this guy's spirit needs to be studied. How long till something like this actually hurts him, or, well, am I just being a coward here?
That right there is a green water snake. Oh my gosh. Woo! That is something else, man.
Speaking of paranormal, do you guys remember this clip I showed you where the shadow creature popped up from behind the shadows, staring at the guy in the Airbnb? Yeah, I think this is a follow-up. The guy actually got tired of the whole thing and started to threaten the spirit. We don't see the spirit, and I'm not sure he does either. But he threatens it. Not sure why a spirit would be scared of a tomahawk, but hey, sometimes a guy's gotta do what a guy's gotta do.
I know I'm home alone tonight and I just heard a noise. So if there's a home intruder listening right now, I'm naked and I have a tomahawk. Now I'm about to go take a sip of some lemonade. So if when I'm done and I hear another noise, I'm gonna sweep this house. If when I do so, naked, with my tomahawk, I find someone that shouldn't be here, I'm gonna make the beaches of Normandy.
Still on pets, this guy thinks there's something impersonating his dog. I know this clip is short and I would provide a bit of context. He was home with his dog and realized he hadn't seen it in a while. And being the good pet owner that he is, he goes in search of it and it's weirded out to find the dog in the bathroom. The reason that's weird is that he literally struggles to get the big guy into the bathroom for a shower. He found it odd that the dog would go in by itself. As he was trying to call the dog out, he noticed something. It didn't act like his dog, despite almost looking exactly like his dog. He then pulls back and the clip ends there. He doesn't post an update to let us know what happened. While everyone's confused and wondering what could have happened, there's one thing that has been disturbing me too. Why call his dog Salazar? I mean, it sounds ominous. I'm looking for the meaning and it's fine, but seriously anyway. Everyone told him he probably had a skinwalker with him, but that's as far as it goes. So what do you think?
Tudo bem.
That's cute. Man, I love cats. I love cats. I think they're amazing creatures. I mean, I love dogs as well. I mean, I love all animals, but there's just something about cats. I'm sure I like guardian spirits. I mean, if you go back, thousands and thousands of years ago and you see how, the Egyptians revered cats, and I'm pretty sure there's more to cats than meets the eye. Next, we got another person I can't seem to understand. This was recorded by a person cleaning an abandoned house. Yeah, you heard that right. Cleaning an abandoned house. He was almost through with what he was doing, when he noticed something or someone staring at him from the corner. He'd been there a long time and not seen it, despite having the feeling he was being watched. Once he saw the shadow, he noticed he hadn't imagined it. There was actually something or someone out there. He doesn't update us on what happened next, but why an abandoned house? On second thought, maybe that's his job. Maybe he runs a cleaning business. But do me a favor and stay safe out there. Whatever you do, try not to go to some of these sketchy locations alone. Sometimes you should have someone go with you just in case. Thankfully, he was fine enough to post. The mere fact that he hasn't said much since then makes me think there are things he saw or experienced that he can't talk about. This was taken by a mother, and it looks like a cute photograph. If you know something about these ghostly photographs, then you know there's something hiding in plain sight somewhere. Can you see it? Suppose you couldn't. Well, look over the shoulder of the little boy. Do you see it now? There's what looks like an older man with weird eyes directly behind the boy. Most in the community who saw the post believed the entity or spirit was attached to the boy. There were even a few who believed the young man's energy may have created the entity in the first place, which is why it's hanging around him. Personally, I hope he's fine and this is all a misunderstanding of sorts, but just out of curiosity, if this was true and genuine, well, how would the boy get rid of the spirits? We've posted a lot of strange things happening with self-driving cars, but this is the first time we have actual footage of it happening in real time. As you can see, this man was just chilling behind his self-driving car that was doing just fine until it suddenly swerved to the right for no reason. He reacted in time to stop it from veering off the road. This has had some people calling out Tesla on the safety of their vehicle. Wait. Do you notice what happens just before the car veers off? It looks like the car to the left of the one filming suddenly broke into the lane of the one filming, and the car reacted almost instantaneously to prevent an accident. Alright, did the whole community just judge this vehicle wrongly because of the prejudice against Tesla? Did the full self-driving mode actually save him? You guys quickly tell me what you think, okay? Because I'd love to hear it.
20 years past, he's still the same guy. But I get it, you all want to be the main guy. Explain why most people die not knowing who would have stuck by their side. It doesn't even cross their mind, they just go.
So this one was sent to me with the tag Skinwalker. A pet owner apparently walked into his home and was almost immediately met with a scene he did not anticipate. There was rubbish everywhere. Now, if you have a pet, you know this feeling all too well. He turns to the right, sees his dog actually sitting there, wagging its tail with its eyes closed. Now, take a good look at the face of the dog. Tell me it doesn't look like a human expression. This is cute, but personally, I think that dog is lucky it's not being accused of being a skinwalker. Anyway, I don't think there's something ominous happening in this clip. What do you think? If I saw this without the right captions, I would immediately think it's a paranormal clip, probably a glitch in the Matrix where someone glitched into a wall. As interesting as that would have been, that's not what's going on here. This man is a thief. He simply got stuck in the vent while trying to rob the place. Fortunately for him, the people were kind enough to bring him out without harming him. The law won't look the other way though. He's gonna get what he deserves. What would you have done if this man was robbing you instead?
पवन पूरा क्या है? तो यहाँ पे चोरी किसके साथ में आया था करने? ये गाड़ी बोल के डाला बंदा है। गाड़ी भी इसका गाड़ी को क्या? अच्छा आया बाहर गाड़ी। पीछे गाड़ी लगी थी इसने।
This was captured in Norway. It starts off looking like a normal airplane in the sky with its nightlight on. You might even assume it's a Boeing or some other type of passenger plane. And if you did that, your assumption won't last long. As you can see, it changes form for a split second, then zooms into the night sky. And while that's happening, the lighting system around the craft changes into something futuristic just before it goes out of sight. Many who saw this believed it was nothing but an alien craft, and I agree, but what it was doing in Norway, who the hell knows? Do you guys think this is legit? So one of you sent us this asking if we thought this was a baby or mini Bigfoot. I found that introduction humorous. It gave us a good laugh after a stressful day, so thank you. But to the crux of your mail, this really does look like a baby Bigfoot because it's too small to be the size of a real thing. Take a look at the face. Am I the only one who thinks its face appears to be more like a mask than it does flesh? If that's the case, this could just be a child in a Bigfoot costume. If not, well, if this is the real deal, well, if it is, why would its parents allow it to be roaming around like that? Who knows, huh? Personally, I'm tempted to think this is a costume, but there are many who think otherwise, especially this commenter. He makes some interesting points on why this might be the real deal. So what do you think? Do you think this is a real mini baby Bigfoot? Well, please share your thoughts in the comment section below.
Yo, this is crazy. So this is April, 14th?
Take a look at this footage from 2023, shared by a resident in Oklahoma. It starts with this strange object hovering in the sky above his house. At first glance, you might think it's something falling from space, but there is no fire, just a bright, tiny orb surrounded by a cloud of white smoke, leaving a smoky trail behind it. As you watch, the smoke begins to spread and slowly dissipates, leaving the shiny orb still floating in the sky. It just hovers there for a while, but then something even stranger happens. The orb starts emitting more of that white smoke, almost as if it's pulsing out of the object. And during this entire eerie spectacle, you can hear the sound of sirens going off in the background, adding to the tension. What could possibly be going on here? A meteor, space debris, or could it be something more mysterious, maybe even otherworldly?
Yo, this is crazy. So this is April, 14th?
No, I don't like you people to use chemicals. We use natural food.
Yeah.
Which heals. Can I tell you?
Yeah,
This is produced by chemicals.
it is. It's very true.
You are putting chemicals in your body. When you say it, you don't care what will happen. You are saying, I'm wearing a good shirt.
Yeah.
That's a problem. That you are practicing witchcraft on your body yourself with your mind. So people don't think about that.
We mostly worry about what we put into our bodies, questioning the safety of the food we eat and the chemicals used in its production. But how often do we stop to consider the clothes we wear? This man visited a remote village in Africa and interviewed one of the elders. The man wore clothing made from gazelle skin. As he talked, the elder shared a thought-provoking perspective. He stated that our clothes today are often manufactured using synthetic fibers and treated with a cocktail of chemicals, from dyes to preservatives. These chemicals, in turn, come into direct contact with our skin daily. When you think about it, you realize that just as we worry about the toxins we consume through food, it's worth considering what we absorb through our skin when we wear chemically treated fabrics. But do tell me, do you think our clothing is harming us in ways we haven't even considered? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section.
This is produced by chemicals.
It is. It's very true.
You are putting chemicals in your body. When you say it, you don't care what will happen. You are saying, I'm wearing a good shirt.
Yeah.
That's a problem. That you are practicing witchcraft on your body yourself with your mind. So people don't think about that.
What the fuck is that?
No, what's...
Run!
Guys, wait!
A group of friends went camping, enjoying the outdoors, and settled into their tents for the night. One of them had a camera ready to record, capturing the calm night scene. Suddenly, his tent mate burst out of the tent yelling, "Run!" Without asking questions, he bolted out of the tent, joining the rest of his friends who had already started running. When he finally reached a safe distance, he looked back, and this is what he saw. Inside one of the tents was a creature, crouched on all fours. It certainly didn't seem human, but if it wasn't, then what on earth was it?
What the fuck is that?
No, what's...
Run! Run!
Guys, wait! Richtig. Richtig. Sie können gerne versuchen mitzuspielen, meine Damen und Herren. Richtig. Richtig.
You know that spot the difference game? The one when you've given two nearly identical images except for a tiny change somewhere and you have to find it. It's a game that can get intense, especially when the images are full of colorful details and busy characters. Well, there's this little girl who's an absolute genius at it. Watch her as she finds each difference in a blink of an eye without even the most challenging, trickiest images. She barely takes a second, and there she is, pointing out the subtle detail that's different. Meanwhile, most of us would still be scanning both pictures, scratching our heads. How does she do it? Could it be a super sharp eye for detail, or maybe some kind of natural talent for pattern recognition? Well, it turns out it's thanks to a technique called stereopsis training. This method involves the use of stereograms or cross-eyed images, improves binocular vision by teaching both eyes to work together for depth perception. Originally, the young girl, Mara, underwent this vision therapy to address convergence insufficiency, a condition affecting her ability to focus on nearby objects. Through the therapy, her brain adapted, enhancing her visual perception and allowing her to process complex images with impressive speed and accuracy, demonstrating the power of neuroplasty. Impressive, huh?
Richtig. Yep.
And I see these. He's like throwing an angel baby on the floor or through the roof. It's like little, but it has horns on top.
A woman was walking by a building in Fresno when she noticed something strange. On this building, there were some rather odd-looking statues. The statues were strange and unsettling. One of them appeared to be a winged creature, almost like a gargoyle, tossing a baby angel. There were other equally eerie statues, along with some unusual paintings covering the building's exterior. What could this all mean? Some are speculating that it could be linked to a cult or some kind of hidden symbolism. What do you make of this?
And I see these. He's like throwing an angel baby on the floor or through the roof. It's like little, but it has horns on top.
Here we have another heartbreaking story of an animal lost to extinction, the kauai, a bird native to Hawaii. This species officially went extinct in 1987, and the last known individual, a male, was seen in 1989. The kauai was once known for its distinctive flute-like song that echoed through the Hawaiian forests. However, as their numbers dwindled due to habitat destruction, invasive species, and other environmental threats, this poor bird found itself utterly alone. In a final, heart-wrenching moment, the last male was recorded singing a mating call, hoping to attract a female that no longer existed.
En el pilastrón.
¿Qué?
En el pilastrón. En el pilastrón está él, güey.
Ay, cabrón. Ahí está.
No mames, güey. Lo estoy viendo, güey.
Bestia.
¿Es él?
No lo veo.
¿O es sombra, güey? Se está moviendo, güey.
Eso no es sombra, eso no es sombra. Es él, güey.
¡Ah, la verga, güey! ¡No mames! ¡Ah!
Recently, this particular video has been going everywhere. I have watched it several times and have my theories. Since it's been a while since I asked you guys for your opinion on a post, let's do this one together. I won't be providing this commentary, but I would very much love to hear what you think about it. What do you see? Why do you see it? And what do you think it could mean? Let's get creative in the comments section.
Viendo, güey.
Bestia.
¿Es él?
No lo veo.
¿O es sombra, güey? Se está moviendo, güey.
Eso no es sombra, eso no es sombra. Es él, güey.
¡Ah, la verga, güey! ¡No mames! ¡Ah!
Literally right behind
You
us
guys.
now. He's right by that mailbox and he's not there.
He's not there and the truck is not there. What the What the He's right there.
A woman was parked in a lot, glancing back to check her surroundings when she noticed a man walking toward a car with a red truck behind him. But when she looked at a car's rear camera screen, there was nothing there. No man, no truck, just an empty path. What could this be? A glitch in the camera feed? Or could it be something stranger, like a peek into a parallel universe overlapping ours for a moment?
Literally right behind
You
us
guys.
now. He's right by that mailbox and he's not there.
He's not there and the truck is not there. What the What the He's right there.
Speaking of things I need your help explaining, take a look at this. I'm pretty sure I may have shared this in the past, but it's starting to go around again in the paranormal community. The individual recording was allegedly waiting for his DoorDash when he noticed this being outside his window. After a while, he heard knocks and went to check if the DoorDash had arrived, but it hadn't. Instead, it was this being or thing or entity watching him from a distance. Naturally, he was spooked, which led him to record his experience. Do you think this is real, though? If you do, what do you think that is?
I'm pulling the chicken off in chunks. I'm just pulling it off in chunks. I can rip this chicken open. Like, that's disgusting.
The individuals noticed that the chicken breast they bought looked rather odd, and as they were washing the meat, it just started to fall apart so easily. Just look at that. When you take a closer look inside the chicken, it almost appears to be made of thick, fibrous strands. This doesn't look like normal chicken at all. What could possibly be going on here? With so many concerns about food quality nowadays, everyone seems concerned. What's your take on it?
I'm pulling the chicken off in chunks. I'm just pulling it off in chunks. I can rip this chicken open. Like, that's disgusting.
I recently came across something pretty interesting and honestly a bit unsettling about the McDonald's fries. Now, we all know how iconic those fries are, if we can even call strips of potato iconic. Golden, crispy, and strangely addictive, but here's the thing. McDonald's doesn't just use any potato, they specifically use a variety called the russet Burbank. It's a large, long potato that produces those perfect uniform fries, but the russet Burbank is not easy to grow. It's prone to blemishes and diseases, and that makes it a difficult crop to farm. To keep up with the massive demand McDonald's creates, farmers have to grow these potatoes in huge quantities. But to do that successfully, they use a very specific chemical called monitor. And this chemical is no joke. It's so dangerous that when it's sprayed on the crop, farmers aren't even allowed to enter the fields for several days. That's how toxic it is. The spray helps the potatoes grow more uniformly and reduces blemishes, but it comes at a serious cost. Even after the potatoes are harvested, they're not sent off to McDonald's right away. Instead, they're stored in huge sheds for weeks, sometimes longer, just to allow the chemicals to dissipate. They're too toxic to eat straight from the ground. That means by the time those fries make it into your McDonald's bag, they've gone through a long process, not just of farming and storage, but of chemical detox. All this for just a perfect-looking fry. These women were caught on video in the middle of the street performing a protest, but it honestly has people confused. They're doing this strange choreographed dance right there in public. According to them, it's a form of protest. But when you actually watch what they're doing, it's hard to tell what the message is supposed to be. The movements are odd, almost theatrical, like a performance art piece than a direct protest. Can this be considered a protest? Traditionally, a protest is about clearly voicing a message against injustice, bringing attention to an issue and trying to bring change. But when your message is buried in its abstract movements that most people can't interpret, is that still effective? There are people out there risking a lot to make a difference, marching, speaking out, and organizing communities. Compared to that, well, this just feels confusing. Some even say it's just a complete waste of time, and I, for one, am one of them. So is this some new age form of peaceful protest we just don't understand yet, or is it performative noise that misses the point entirely? A man was filming one night when suddenly something extraordinary happened. Out of nowhere, a huge ball of light blasted across the sky, trailing colorful streaks behind it. The light illuminated the entire area for a brief moment before vanishing just as quickly as it appeared. Along with this spectacle, there was a loud, thunderous boom which echoed across the landscape. If you listen closely to the footage, you can hear the rain falling steadily in the background. But what exactly was that? Some people are speculating it could have been a comet or something along the lines of a fireball entering the atmosphere. You've seen the clip. What do you think it is? I always say this: hospitals are one of the biggest hotspots for ghost activity.
How do you show it? How do you tell a ghost to show it? Look at the heart rate. Make your heart rate speed up if you're a ghost. Make your heart rate speed up if you're a ghost.
In this video, a group of nurses entered a room and were shocked by what they found. The heart monitor was on, actively reading someone's vitals, but this is the strange part. The room was completely empty, and the machine wasn't even plugged in. This left the nurses convinced that they might be dealing with a ghost. On one of them, curious if the spirit was trying to communicate, asked if it could increase the heart rate. To their surprise, the monitor showed exactly that. The heart rate sped up. The nurses were all in shock, unable to believe what they were witnessing. I mean, you're definitely seeing everything I'm saying on your screen right now. The big question now is this real? Is this genuine? The paranormal community is divided. Where do you stand?
Rate speed up if you're a ghost.
Here's another eerie fan-submitted sighting that caught our attention. This one came from someone who was out jogging at night, just trying to get in some exercise before turning in for the day. But during his jog, he noticed something strange above him that made him stop in his tracks. It was close to nighttime, so the sky had this grayish twilight color with a light layer of clouds drifting across. At first, everything looked pretty normal, but then something changed. Odd streaks of light began flashing behind the clouds. They were quick, dim streaks that would move across the sky in ways that didn't feel like normal lighting or aircraft. Take a good look at the footage, and you'll see what I mean. Even though the clouds muted the brightness, the streaks were still visible. So what could this be? Some people think these could be secret aircraft, maybe flying high above the cloud cover with some kind of cloaking tech. Others believe it's UFOs using the cloud layer for cover. Even a few theories are floating around that suggest it could be energy discharges or electromagnetic phenomena, something not yet fully understood by science. Whatever the case, it definitely was not normal, and the jogger who filmed had never seen anything like it before. So what do you think these streaks of light were? Would you use a transparent phone? What's that? It's not possible for a phone to be transparent. Well, then how do you explain this? Yep, the lady in the clip is allegedly using a transparent phone. Well, before you write it off as being impossible, you must know that rumors about transparent phones have been circulating for years, often sparked by concept designs and tech patents from companies like Samsung, LG, and Xiaomi. While no fully transparent smartphone has hit the market, key advancements are edging closer to making it a reality. Technologies like transparent OLED displays, invisible circuits printed on glass, and see-through batteries are in development alongside nanotechnology that allows companies to be both functional and nearly invisible. The challenge lies in miniaturizing and hiding essential parts like cameras, processors, and antennas without compromising performance. Though still largely experimental, the combination of these innovations suggests that a partially or fully transparent phone may become feasible within the next decade. Who knows if the lady in the clip has figured it out, or at least knows someone who has. Maybe, just maybe, that's a prototype she's testing. Just think about it.
Esto como de luz pasando, pero no se graba muy bien, y luego después sale, se para ahí y como que se convierte en un señor, mira, y se queda ahí todavía está corriendo el reloj de grabando, mira, se mira como.
In August 2024, a CCTV camera in an empty field recorded something that left many people questioning what they just witnessed. The footage shows an orb glowing softly, drifting over a patch of grassland. It moves almost as if it has a purpose before coming to a complete stop. But what happens next is even more unsettling. Slowly, the light begins to shift, stretching and reshaping until it takes on the figure of a person. As the image becomes clearer, we see what looks like a man dressed in white pants and a shirt, his hair dark. He stands there, eerily still, as though waiting for something. Then, with a sudden movement, he turns around, but as he does, his form distorts, and within moments, the figure dissolves, reshaping back into the glowing orb and floats away in the same direction it arrived. Could this strange sighting be linked to the mysterious orbs people have been reporting in various places? Are these orbs more than just lights, possibly shape-shifting entities watching us, moving among us unseen? Share your thoughts.
Esto como de luz pasando, pero no se graba muy bien, y luego después sale, se para ahí y como que se convierte en un señor, mira, y se queda ahí todavía está corriendo el reloj de grabando, mira, se mira como.
A man was walking home late at night and decided to take a shortcut through a bridge in the middle of the woods. As he climbed onto the bridge, he began to feel uneasy, like someone was watching him. Trying to shake the feeling, he pulled out his camera and started filming, panning around to see if he could catch anything unusual. When he looked down, there was a face staring up at him. It was a grotesque red face with matted black hair watching him intently. Just as he spotted it, the figure quickly disappeared into the darkness, leaving him rattled. Some people are speculating that it could be a witch or spirit, but others are puzzled by the red, bright face. Could it be some other type of entity, or is there a different reason for its disturbing appearance? What do you think he encountered that night? A family reported hearing strange noises in the middle of the night coming from their kitchen. Everyone was too scared to get up and check, so they decided to wait until morning. When daylight came, they went in to see if anything had been disturbed, and to their surprise, the kitchen looked intact. Except for one thing. The cabinets were ajar. So they decided to review the security camera footage from that night, and what they discovered was chilling. Out of nowhere, in the middle of the night, one of the cabinet doors suddenly swings wide open with force. No one was there and nothing else moved in the room. So what could have caused this? Was it just a faulty cabinet door giving way? Or could it have been the work of a poltergeist haunting the house? At least, that is what the family believes. This next footage was captured by a hiker while he was trekking through the dense woods of eastern Canada. It was shortly after a heavy snowstorm, and he thought it would be the perfect time to take in the quiet beauty of nature. But what started out as a peaceful walk quickly turned into something unsettling. As he moved deeper into the forest, he suddenly began to hear strange guttural vocalizations echoing through the trees. The sounds were deep, haunting, and powerful, almost as if they were coming from something massive lurking just out of sight. Startled, he quickly hid behind a cluster of trees, pulled out his phone, and began recording, hoping to capture the eerie noises. When you listen closely, the howl doesn't resemble a wolf, bear, or any other known animal in the region. It carries a raw, almost primal energy that makes it difficult to explain. Some people who've analyzed the recording are convinced it could be evidence of Bigfoot roaming the Canadian wilderness. Others argue it may simply be a large animal distorted by the acoustics of the forest and the cold air after a storm. What do you think was making that noise?
What the f*** was that? I heard some here.
While you try to decode that, you might want to take a good look at this one. A man was exploring the great outdoors when he came across what's on your screen. Not sure what he was looking at, he was stunned and stopped in his tracks. As he tried to make out what it was, it suddenly yanked or suddenly moved one direction and disappeared out of view. If he didn't plan this, and it's no hoax, then he was definitely going to be startled. Well, he swears it's real, so let's go with that. He uploaded it on the paranormal platform seeking answers, but all he got is a lot of doubt and questions. Do you think it's real? If it is, what are we dealing with here? If it's not, how do you think they pulled it off? What you're looking at here is a 30-million-year-old praying mantis perfectly preserved in a piece of amber. This incredible fossil was discovered in the Dominican Republic and has been remarkably well preserved over all those millions of years, allowing us a rare glimpse into a distant past. The amber has essentially frozen this ancient mantis in time, capturing it in such stunning detail. You can still see its delicate body, limbs, and even some of its fine features. It's fascinating to think that this creature lived long before humans ever walked the earth and is now immortalized in amber for us to study and admire. Nature has its own way of preserving its history, and this is just one breathtaking example. This next video has a very disturbing history behind it. It was recovered by the police back in 1996, and it involves a man known as Ricardo. Ricardo was completely obsessed with the singer Björk. Over time, that obsession grew darker and darker until he began recording video diaries of himself. In these tapes, he would speak directly to the camera, talking about his feelings, his frustrations, and his fixation on the singer. What started as rambling confessions slowly turned into something much more unsettling. His recordings revealed his growing anger and bitterness after finding out that the singer had a lover. Ricardo intended to send a dangerous package to Björk in hopes of harming her as punishment. Fortunately, that didn't go as planned, but Ricardo's obsession consumed him so much that he filmed his final act on camera, leaving behind a chilling record of his descent into madness. The footage has since become infamous, often referred to as the Björk stalker tapes. Many who have seen it describe it as one of the darkest and most disturbing pieces of evidence ever retrieved by law enforcement.
I want to be the biggest influence in her life, the most important person who changed her life more than anybody else, okay? The guy who took her life, okay? I am the angel of death for her.
Have you ever heard of the Randonautica app? If you have, then you already know that the stories surrounding it can get very strange, and this one is no exception. Two women decided to use the app, and it led them to a location that seemed unusual from the start. The destination was an abandoned apartment building in an isolated area. The place itself gave off a strange, uneasy feeling, but what happened next was far more disturbing. As the woman approached the building, they suddenly began to hear something. From inside, strange noises echoed out, and when they listened more closely, it sounded like many voices all at once. It was not casual talking. The voices sounded like chanting, and it seemed as though a large group of people were inside performing some sort of ritual. The women were completely shocked by what they were hearing. Their curiosity pulled them closer, but at the same time, a deep sense of fear stopped them from stepping through the doorway. Instead, they turned and quickly left. What exactly was going on inside that abandoned building? Was it some form of religious gathering, a secret ritual, or something else entirely? Whatever it was, it left them shocked, and it makes you wonder what kind of things Randonautica is truly leading people toward.
What is this? I feel like this is a ritual. This is real. This is real. This is not a game. This is when we get murdered. This is not real.
A hiker was out exploring the mountains when he stumbled upon something extraordinary. As he climbed higher into the highlands, he noticed a large creature perched on a massive rock. The creature had thick white fur and was sitting upright, almost human-like in posture. From its size and proportions, this was no ordinary animal. Its massive frame and humanoid shape resembled a Bigfoot. The sighting has stirred up quite a bit of speculation. Could this be an extremely rare version of the elusive Bigfoot, an albino variant? Many people have shared their theories, but no one has come up with a definitive explanation. What do you think? Possession. Most people see it as people getting taken over by some sort of entity or spirit. But is that really the case? Well, let's take a look at this footage. In the clip, a young man is seen writhing in a dirty gutter, his body thrashing wildly. No one knows what led to this moment or why he suddenly lost control. 1 minute he was fine, and the next he was flailing uncontrollably, eventually ending up in the gutter. The behavior is erratic and his movements seem unnatural, fueling the belief that this could be a case of demonic possession or spiritual influence. But skeptics say it could have been a medical condition or even a psychological break that caused his actions. What are your thoughts? Have you ever seen a UFO crash? No? Well, today's your lucky day. In the clip, we see something falling from the sky and falling quickly, and while falling from the sky, it starts to break apart with some components hitting the vehicles in traffic. When I first saw this, I felt the plane or craft or whatever it is had an unusual shape. That was until I read the caption of the post. The original uploader claims this is top secret footage and even visited the location during the day to prove it's real and not made up. While that's interesting, one thing someone pointed out is we don't see anything tangible from the visitation clip. Another person in the community mentioned that while the bridges look similar, they're very different. Simply put, the individual who uploaded the clip was lying. I've watched the clip over and over and understand both sides of the argument. But a part of me wants this to be real, so I'm likely to be biased. And you've seen the clip, so what do you think? Have you heard this one? France has announced that it's working on building a full combat-ready robot army. Yeah, actual robots, not just drones or remote-controlled machines, but autonomous and semi-autonomous military robots designed specifically for warfare. And they're not planning to wait until the distant future. According to reports, France is aiming to start deploying these robots as early as 2028, which is just around the corner. And by 2040, the goal is to have a fully functional robotic military force. This includes everything from robot soldiers to armed autonomous vehicles, surveillance units, and AI-driven battlefield machines. Now let that sink in for a second. We're talking about a world where robot soldiers could walk, besides, or even replace human troops in actual war zones. These machines are expected to be faster, more efficient, and capable of making tactical decisions in real time with little to no human input. Sounds exciting? Well, maybe, but sounds terrifying. Yeah, definitely. A lot of people are raising serious questions like what happens if something goes wrong. Movies like Terminator, iRobot, or even Ex Machina have warned us what happens when artificial intelligence is given control over life and death. And while France says the robots will be strictly monitored, there's still a growing concern worldwide because once countries start rolling out robotic armies, others will follow. It becomes an arms race about machine power. Are you in favor of this, or are we opening a Pandora's box for something we can never close again? Have you ever heard of people emitting electricity? No? Well, this couple shared a video that has everyone talking.
Every time we touch, we shock each other. Okay, ready? We're gonna kiss. This happened the very first time. It hurt so bad. It just hurts your lips really bad. Wait, hold on. I'm not mentally prepared. Love you.
Oh my god.
Dude, you touched me.
That was
Every single time we touched.
They went out to a grocery store together, and suddenly they noticed something strange. Every time they touched, there was a small zap. They even tried kissing, and you can actually hear a faint zapping sound. This kept happening every time they made contact. The couple had left their house together with nothing out of the ordinary. This bizarre electric spark between them continued until, eventually, when they tried to shake hands one last time, it stopped. After that, they were able to continue their day without any more shocks. Can anyone explain what was going on?
Every time we touch, we shock each other. Okay, ready? We're gonna kiss. This happened the very first time. It hurt so bad. It just hurts your lips really bad. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm not mentally prepared. Love you.
Oh my god.
Just do it again. Touch me.
That was a little
Every single time we touch.
The implant in my ear is it'll turn on during the interview, and you'll be talking to me and to them.
You don't have an implant. You're pulling my leg.
No, I'm not telling you the truth. You don't know about it? You never read the books?
I read Communion.
Oh, okay. You've only read Communion.
I've only read Communion.
A man named Whitley Strieber, known for his best-selling book Communion, recently shared an extraordinary experience in an interview. According to Strieber, he has an implant behind his ear placed there by extraterrestrial beings. Strieber claims this implant was put in back in 1989. He describes it as an advanced form of intelligence, something like artificial intelligence, but somehow alive. According to him, this device serves as a connection between him and these alien beings, allowing some level of communication or monitoring. Strieber also revealed something even more surprising. He claims that the CIA has taken an interest in this implant and wanted to access the device, but Strieber refused to give it to them. He went on to say that the CIA has established contact with gray aliens and that his implant holds information linking him to them directly. It's a wild story, no doubt. Is it possible there's some truth here?
Why do you think the CIA is so interested in people who have had close encounters?
Well, I think they kind of backed into it because their brief is foreign intelligence. And this is about as foreign intelligence can get.
Everyone loves to share fun videos online, and this woman was no different. She's in South Africa at a beach swimming in the ocean. The surface of the water is covered with this thick foam, and instead of being cautious, she jumps right in. She even laughs and says it's salty, clearly enjoying herself as she splashes around in what she thought was just harmless sea foam. But then, the shocking twist. In the comments, people began pointing out what she had no idea about. This wasn't just regular foam. The place where she was swimming was right next to a sewage outlet. That means that all of the foam wasn't from the sea at all. It was sewage waste, human excrement spilling directly into the water. And she wasn't just swimming in it, she was tasting it too. It's hard to believe she didn't know, but judging by her reaction, she had no clue what she was actually in. Viewers were horrified and disgusted, many saying she should get a full checkup at the hospital immediately after being exposed to that. Did nobody warn her? Did people nearby see her get in and just let it happen? Or was she truly unaware of what she was swimming in?
Let's go swimming! That's cold. This is one of my favorite spots to swim at. It's so beautiful. Oh, I actually love this swim. It's quite cool. That is salty.
Lately, there have been reports of storms happening in different parts of the world, and people have started to notice some strange things connected to them. This video comes from Mexico. A driver had parked outside in his car because he was supposed to pick someone up. It was raining, though not too heavily. As he sat there waiting, something unusual caught his attention. Up on the roof of a nearby building, he noticed a figure. At first, he thought it might just be a trick of the light, but as he kept watching, the shape became clearer. It looked like a man, a tall man with broad shoulders, very muscular, standing perfectly upright. His chest was pushed forward in a proud, almost unnatural stance. The driver explained that this figure didn't move once, it just stood there in the rain motionless, watching over everything. He sat in his car for quite some time, and the figure remained there the entire time until he eventually drove away. A screenshot was taken of the figure, and the image was brightened, yet the figure itself appeared completely dark, like a shadow cut out against the sky. So what exactly was this? Some believe it was simply an object on the roof that resembled a person, but others argue that this was something else entirely. They suggest it could have been a spiritual entity connected to the storm, or perhaps even one of the Watchers. They are beings that are said to observe humanity from a higher plane. What do you think?
What's wrong? What happened? The table just moved. What the f*** you mean the table just moved? What do you mean? I swear to God.
This footage comes from a security camera in a tattoo artist's shop, and it captures something rather unusual. The artist was setting up to work on a client when suddenly the table next to her started to move on its own. Though the table had wheels, it didn't look like she touched it or pushed it at all. The artist quickly noticed and grew alert, both she and her client looking around in confusion. But then another table in the corner also slid by itself. That was the last straw. Both women decided to make a run for it. Maybe a ghostly client wanted to book a tattoo appointment too. What do you think could have caused this?
What's wrong? What happened? The table just moved. What the f*** you mean the table just moved? What do you mean? I swear to God.
A late-night worker was outside when he spotted something unusual moving across the yard nearby. A line of small, shadowy creatures with dark, spiky-looking hair were walking one after another, disappearing around the corner of the building. They were hard to make out in the dim light, so he applied a negative filter to the footage for a better view. Take a look at the tiny figures moving together in a line. They're small, almost childlike in size, but they don't seem like animals or anything ordinary. What could these creatures be? Aaron thinks we may be dealing with duendes, but I would love to hear your thoughts as well. Can stars move? For most of us, the answer is no. But the man on your screen has been studying it for years and believes they can. According to him, he started noticing that the stars, or at least some of them, started showing up in different places, which should not be the case. He even mentioned that the Orion Belt is no longer where it's supposed to be. Bear in mind, this is a star system many use and trust to find their way around ancient times. For it to disappear, there can only be one explanation. The stars are moving, and possibly they aren't stars at all. Think about it.
What's weird is certain stars are actually just coming up in different places. Like I see this one huge star that comes up over the mountains at like 2 a.m. now. So it makes you wonder what's going on if there's this shift that's taken place in the sky. And, you know, a lot of people have talked about these things. Every 25,000 years, there's a change in the sky. And it kind of makes you wonder if something's shifted.
A family had gone out one night, just a regular evening away from home. But when they returned, something strange was waiting for them. As they stood a short distance from their house, they noticed something unusual on the front of the porch. At first, it looked like a giant bird. You could clearly see what appeared to be large outstretched wings, almost like a hawk or raven perched there. But then things took a wild turn. Right before their eyes, the bird-like shape shifted into a smoky black mass that seemed alive, pulsing, and moving unnaturally. And then suddenly it lifted off, soaring silently into the night sky and vanishing without a trace. You can hear the family freaking out behind the camera. They can't believe what they just saw. Now, not everyone is convinced by the footage. While the paranormal community is buzzing, calling this one of the most bizarre captures in a while, skeptics are raising eyebrows. Some say this could be AI-generated, especially with how fluid and unnatural the transformation looks. And honestly, that might be a possibility. These days, it's getting harder to tell what's real and what's digital anymore. But if it's real, what exactly did they catch on camera? A shapeshifter, a spirit, or something else entirely?
What the hell? Hey. What is that? Look, it's just moving. What am I looking at? Scary. Hey.
Look at that. 9/27/24.
Still on Bizarre Captures, we travel back in time to the 27th of September of this year when a man captured a video of something truly unusual in the sky. In the clip, you can see a bright circular pattern glowing in the sky. According to the man who filmed it, the strange otherworldly sight resembled some kind of portal. Many in the community shared this perspective and started to debate what could have come or gone through it. While everyone shared their thoughts with excitement, Julius showed up claiming that what we were seeing was nothing more than a sundog. If this is your first time hearing the term, as it was mine when he mentioned it, it's a common atmospheric phenomenon caused by sunlight interacting with ice crystals in the atmosphere. Sundogs typically create bright spots or halos near the sun, which could explain the shape. While this sounds logical and scientific, you must still agree with me that the whole thing just looks otherworldly. Could there be more to this than science has discovered?
Look at that. 9/27/24.
We start today's episode in a theater, and it's not all what you were thinking. Well, if you're thinking something spooky happened, well, then you're right.
There's the ghost light. It's a light we keep on for ghosts, for people who still remain here and whatnot. And, what the f***? What is that?
So the young man you see on your screen was in the theater when he started hearing strange noises. Usually, this is normal in a theater, but not when it's closed and you're supposed to be alone. After enduring the sound for a bit, he decided to step out and investigate. He decided to film the investigation just in case he caught someone breaking in. He explores the theater, shows us the ghost light meant to fish out people who stay after the theater had closed. As he pans the camera, he notices something, but it's not exactly clear. He gets closer to take a better look, and then he sees it. It's some sort of puppet, and it's staring down at him. At least, that's what I thought I saw. Naturally, he freaks out and eventually uploads it onto the internet. While going through the comments of the original post, I realized some said they saw a woman, whereas others saw a kid or a teenager. You guys have seen the clip. What do you also see? But more importantly, do you think this is legit, or do you think he's trying to get his 5 minutes of fame? Kindly share your thoughts in the comments section. We have some chilling CCTV footage that a property owner recently shared. He had been constructing a building on his land, and as a precaution, he set up cameras to keep watch over the site at night. But what the cameras captured was nothing he expected. Late one night, a strange figure suddenly appears out of nowhere on the side of the building. At first, it looks like a person, but as the figure moves towards the wall, something very unusual happens. It begins to fade away. Within seconds, it vanishes completely, leaving nothing behind. The recording ends with only an empty view of the property, but the appearance lingers in everyone's mind. The property owner was deeply unsettled by this and started to wonder if the land itself might be haunted. Could it be the spirit of someone tied to the history of the area now wandering through the construction site, or is it possible that the camera simply glitched, creating the illusion of a ghostly figure? Some viewers argue it could have been one of the workers who happened to walk in a view, but the way the figure disappears makes that explanation hard to accept. So what do you think this is? This photo looks like a simple family memory. They'd gone out to a restaurant, enjoyed their meal, and decided to snap a quick picture before leaving. At first glance, everything seems completely normal until you notice what's lurking in the background. Behind the smiling family, there appears to be a strange, transparent shapes that resemble human bodies. Their forms are faint but clear enough to make out, and they seem to be posing for the photograph, almost as if they knew the camera would capture them. When the family looked back at the picture, they weren't entirely surprised. That's because the restaurant is actually part of an old hotel that locals say is haunted. Guests have reported strange whispers, objects moving on their own, and even shadowy figures appearing late at night. But for those who didn't know this history, the image is chilling. To see ghostly figures in the background of such an ordinary moment feels unsettling. Could these really be the lingering spirits of people who once stayed in that hotel, still wandering its halls and even joining in on a family photograph without invitation? This image was taken by a trail camera, and it's certainly unsettling. In the shot, there's a creature sitting on the forest floor, its head bent down as if in a moment of stillness or concentration. The figure is large with broad shoulders and a hunched posture, making it look quite imposing. The person who captured the image insists that this is Bigfoot, and when you look at it closely, it does seem to match the description of these elusive creatures. Tall, bulky, covered in hair, with a posture that isn't quite human. Skeptics argue that this is a misidentification, perhaps a person in thick clothing or an animal caught at a strange angle. But the size and shape make it harder to dismiss. Could this really be the legendary Bigfoot, or just another case of mistaken identity? Behold the mesmerizing serpent captured in the lens of fascination, a horned snake with orange skin. Its back is covered in spikes like a dragon from ancient stories deciding to show up in the form of this amazing snake-like marvel. It's like a mythical creature coming to life. At first glance, one might entertain the notion of a horned puff adder, but no, this snake is something else entirely. It's not your regular snake, it's like a mystery in itself. With majestic proportions and all these intricate spikes covering its slithery body, what type of snake is this? But hold on, here's a twist. We can't rule out that this might just be a fake snake created with technology. You know, people can pull off some pretty convincing illusions these days, so the mystery might be more about how it was made rather than what it actually is. Not sure if you guys knew this already, but caves can be pretty dangerous. Many daredevils who go cave exploring don't usually make it back.
Oh, I don't like this. Oh my gosh.
In this clip, we see a group of individuals exploring a cave system with trained and professional guides. The ones filming decide to break off from the group to explore an area that interested them. This is something you should never ever do. Their adventure is, however, cut short when they notice something in the distance. It's a humanoid creature, albeit it's dressed in a white gown and just has this otherworldly feel to it. Also, there was no one among the exploring team that was dressed like that. This could only mean one thing: a ghost, but how? Well, remember how I said these caves can be dangerous? It's not too far-fetched to think someone could have died in there while exploring the cave. The quality of the footage is low, so we can't see much, but almost everyone in my team thinks it's a ghost. So what about you? What do you think?
Oh my God!
Most Bigfoot footage out there shows the creature from a distance, either walking through the woods, peeking from behind a tree, or just standing still far away. But this one is very different. It was sent in by a young boy who'd been out walking alone one night near the edge of a wooded area. He said he started to feel strangely uneasy, like someone or something was watching him. So he pulled out his phone and began recording while looking around. Then, just as he turned to head back home, something emerged from the darkness behind him. You can only see it for a brief second, but that moment is very intense. A large, dark figure steps forward, covered in thick black fur, and it's huge. The movement looked like it was about to charge or reach out toward the boy, and that's when he let out a scream and took off running. Thankfully, he got away without being harmed, but when you watch the footage closely, it really does look like something big and powerful was lurking there. Some say it couldn't have been a person in a suit, but others believe this might be one of the clearest close-up encounters with Bigfoot ever caught on camera. What do you think?
Oh my God!
Back in 2019, a man stumbled upon a series of massive footprints while exploring southeast Indiana. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. These weren't ordinary footprints. The impressions were about 6 inches wide, 18 inches long, and 4 inches deep, as if something incredibly heavy had made them. The track spanned a stretch of the ground, with each footprint spaced a full 70 inches apart, suggesting an enormous stride. He counted around 8 prints in total, though he managed to capture only 2 in photos. Take a look at these prints. The definition is remarkable. You can see the toes in the outline, as if whatever made them left behind a clear imprint of its foot. The scale of these prints doesn't align with any known animal in the area, but they closely match the reported sightings of a massive 8-foot-tall Sasquatch-like creature. And the man who found these tracks had actually spotted a Sasquatch himself in the same area not long before. What do you think? Is this compelling evidence of Bigfoot, or could there be another reason for these mysterious prints? This footage was captured by a home surveillance camera set up outside overlooking the property. In the dead of night, a mysterious figure appeared, walking across the yard. Just as quickly as it arrived, it vanished into thin air. The figure was small, almost resembling a waddling toddler, but it moved in a way that seemed strange, not quite natural. Some say it might just be a trick of the light, but skeptics believe there might be something more to this eerie sighting. What do you think this could be? A passenger on a commercial flight captured something truly bizarre in the skies. As the plane cruised smoothly through the clouds, the camera picked up what appeared to be a saucer-shaped craft gliding past the aircraft. Just take a look at that. It doesn't look like anything we usually see in the sky. The object seems metallic, reflective, and perfectly disc-shaped, almost like the classic descriptions of UFOs we've been hearing about for decades. What makes this footage even more chilling is how close it seems to be to the plane, as if it were deliberately observing it or passing by at an incredible speed. Some viewers believe this is undeniable proof of an extraterrestrial technology, while others argue it could be a cleverly edited hoax. But when you look at the detail and the way the craft moves, it's hard not to feel unsettled. So what are we really looking at here? These days, the idea that we might not be the only creatures living on Earth is becoming more and more popular. But have you ever wondered what other beings could be roaming this planet alongside us? In this particular video, a CCTV camera was monitoring a neighborhood. At first, it looked just like two men walking down the street, dressed in regular clothes, appearing like ordinary people. But when the footage zoomed in, something unsettling was revealed. Their faces did not look human at all. Their ears appeared longer and sharper, their noses more angular, and their features completely distorted. This has sparked a flood of speculation online. Some viewers believe these figures might have been vampires in disguise, hiding amongst us, and the camera somehow managed to see through whatever illusion they were projecting. Others suggest they could be extraterrestrials, beings blending into human society but occasionally exposed through strange glitches in technology. Skeptics, on the other hand, argue that the footage could simply be the result of poor camera quality or even deliberate editing. Some even suggest that these were men in masks, but the uncanny detail in their faces leaves many unsettled. So what do you think?
I hear somebody talking. Somebody's talking.
This footage comes from a man who decided to explore an abandoned tunnel on his own. After wandering through several pathways, he eventually found one that led him down to a set of stairs into a damp, eerie space filled with a murky green water. The entire place was falling apart with rusty walls, crumbling structures, a real underground maze. As he went further in, strange noises began echoing around him. Curious and a little uneasy, he set his camera down to capture what was happening. And that's when he saw it, a humanoid figure roaming through the shadows. He'd hear a sound, and then silence. At one point he even started hearing faint noises, but no one was there. Toward the end of his exploration, he spotted someone holding a flashlight at the far end of the tunnel. Then, to his shock, he heard gunshots echoing through the space. That was his signal to get out of there and fast.
I hear somebody talking. Somebody's talking.
I don't know, but I feel one of you here is about to buy a house. Consider this another eerie reminder of why it's always wise to know the history of a house before buying it. A Hungarian couple had just moved into their new home when strange, unsettling things started to happen. In this clip, their surveillance camera catches their dog barking at what seems to be empty air. But if you look closely, you'll see faint, shadowy figures hovering in the room for a few seconds. Then, the dog suddenly bolts out, and almost immediately, a chair slides away from the table as if pulled by an unseen force. In another clip, things get even creepier. The couple is jolted awake in the middle of the night by a loud banging noise from the bathroom. When they get up to investigate, they cautiously pull back the shower curtain, only to find nothing. It seems their new home may not be so new after all. Something else may be residing there with them. A woman received a notification from her Ring camera late at night about some movement on a porch, and when she checked the footage, she couldn't believe what she saw. In the video, a neighbor appears outside, but something is very wrong. The woman is seen moving backward against her own will. Then, her body suddenly jerks unnaturally before she begins to levitate off the ground. What's even stranger is that there was nothing visible holding her up. She was just floating in the air like she'd lost all control of her body. The neighbor herself had no idea what had happened and was reportedly shaken after seeing the video. She shared it online, hoping someone could explain. But really, what could have caused something like this? Was she having some sort of medical episode that appeared otherworldly on camera? Was it a paranormal event, or even evidence of something beyond our understanding? If you saw your neighbor levitating outside your home, what would you do? Next, we have another chilling ghost sighting, but this time caught in a photograph taken at a little girl's birthday party. The picture was meant to capture the girl on her special day, but instead it revealed something far more unsettling. Behind her, we see the faint outline of a huge ghostly figure of a woman. Its form seems to be slowly manifesting, with the lower part of the body more visible, while the neck and head appear faded, almost like it was only halfway formed when the photograph was taken. The presence is undeniable, yet its identity remains a mystery. Could it have been the spirit of a past family member, perhaps someone close to the little girl, appearing just for a moment to be part of her celebration? Or was this something else entirely? Some skeptics insist this could be nothing more than a trick of the light or even an edited image. But for those who believe in the paranormal, this picture is evidence that something or someone was there that day watching from the shadows. Now, we've come across a rather intriguing image, and its origin only deepens the mystery. It was taken at an unknown location, and what it shows has people asking a lot of questions. In the sky, there's this purple glowing object, and it doesn't look like anything we've seen before. Its shape is unusual, lowercase n, and it appears to be floating high up in the atmosphere. The glow around it gives it an almost ethereal feel, like it's not just a solid object, but something more. But here's where it gets even stranger. When the image was zoomed in, the outline of what looked like a wheel or circular structure was embedded in the object. It's faint, but it's there, the shape of a wheel. Now, we've seen plenty of UFO sightings, from blurry lights to strange discs and unidentifiable flying objects, but this shape stands out. Not just because of its strange form, but because of its glow, the detail inside it, and the fact that it doesn't seem to behave like any aircraft we know. So what are we looking at here? Could this be some kind of alien mothership hidden in plain sight, or is it a secret aircraft that uses advanced tech that we haven't heard of yet? Some people are even wondering if it might be a portal or a tear in the sky itself, revealing something from another realm. What do you think? A man set up his trail camera deep in the woods because he believed something strange had been happening in the area, possibly even UFO activity. For weeks, he'd noticed odd lights in the sky and unexplained disturbances in the forest, so he placed the camera to catch whatever was going on. When he finally retrieved the footage, what he found left him speechless. In the video, a deer is seen calmly grazing in the clearing. It's a peaceful moment. The deer munches on some leaves totally undisturbed, but then, out of nowhere, a sudden bright flash of light appears in the grass behind it. A beam of light zips across the scene just behind the deer. It moves fast, low, and completely silent across the ground. But the deer doesn't even react. It doesn't flinch or turn its head. It's like it doesn't even notice it. The man who reviewed the footage said there was something even weirder. When he went back to the exact spot where the light appeared, he found patches of grass that looked burned, like something had scorched the area. He couldn't come up with any logical explanation. There were no storms that night, no vehicles in the area, no definitely signs of people. His best guess is that it might have been a UFO. What's odd is how completely unbothered the deer seemed, as if it either didn't sense it or sees this kind of thing all the time. So what was that light? Could it have been a drone, some kind of atmospheric phenomenon, or was it something not of this world? We have this next footage that a very confused homeowner shared online. They'd been checking through their security camera recordings when they came across something that left them unsettled. In the video, we see the backyard at night. Suddenly, this strange mist-like figure appears out of nowhere. It drifts in slowly, almost as if it were floating, and then moves towards the right corner of the screen before vanishing completely. The whole event lasts only a few seconds, but it's enough to raise questions. At first glance, it might look like nothing more than fog or mist drifting through the air, but the way it moves seems almost deliberate, and the shape is oddly defined as if it carries a form of its own. Some viewers believe this could be an actual entity manifesting, while others insist it's simply weather conditions caught at the right angle. So what do you think? Is this just fog passing by the camera, or could the homeowner have captured something paranormal in their backyard? We have a video here from a local woman who shared something truly unbelievable. A daughter had gone swimming at the ocean with a friend, and while they were enjoying themselves near a rocky cave, a few photos were taken of the two girls splashing in the water. At first, everything looked normal, but when the mother zoomed in on one of the photographs later, she noticed something shocking. There was another figure in the water with them, and it didn't look human at all. If you look closely, you can clearly see a fish-like tail glimmering under the surface, almost as if a creature with the body of a human and the tail of a fish was swimming nearby. The two girls had been swimming right next to what appeared to be a mermaid, completely unaware. Now, this has left a lot of people stunned. Some say it's just a trick of the light, while others believe this could be one of the rarest captures ever recorded, proof that mermaids might actually exist. What do you think? Moose are said to be pretty huge creatures, and have you ever seen one up close? Take a good look at this video. Someone was inside their home when they started filming this massive moose out in a parking lot. The moose was standing between two cars, and it was huge. It completely towered over the cars. You can really see just how big and bulky it is. The moose stood completely still, almost like it was frozen in place. Now, some people online are saying this could be AI-generated footage, but let's not forget that moose really do get this big, especially the males. They can stand over 6 feet tall at the shoulder and weigh over 1,500 pounds. So what do you think of this footage? Is it real, or are we just looking at some kind of digital trickery? A man was visiting what looked like either a car dealership or maybe a body shop, we're not exactly sure. But what happened there was definitely strange. He had his phone out filming as he walked between the cars. Then he got a little curious and brought his phone closer to one of the vehicle's LiDAR systems. It's those sensors used for self-driving or assisted driving technology. While still recording, his phone camera lens suddenly cracked. Yeah, the camera cracked on the spot, as if something invisible had hit it or pushed it against from the inside. There's no physical impact, no bump, no drop, just a sudden split in the glass while it was near the LiDAR. Can LiDAR actually cause that? Well, technically LiDAR uses concentrated laser pulses, usually in the infrared spectrum, and those lasers are not supposed to be strong enough to damage anything. But if the LiDAR is malfunctioning or emitting at a higher intensity than it's supposed to, or if it focuses tightly on a specific spot like a camera lens, there could be a risk. Camera sensors, especially in newer smartphones, can sometimes be sensitive to certain kinds of infrared radiation. In rare cases, strong infrared light can damage the camera's internal sensor or distort images, but cracking the actual glass, well, now that's unusual. Still, some users have reported weird glitches or heat-related damage after filming certain industrial lasers or intense light sources. So could LiDAR have caused this? Maybe, but it's rare. This video was taken by a woman who'd gone to visit her brother for the weekend. That night, the two of them were hanging out in the living room, talking and relaxing, until eventually her brother dozed off. Wanting to be playful, she decided to film as he slept. He was holding a cup in his hands and his head was resting on his shoulder, completely out cold. She thought it would be funny to capture the moment and later show it to him. When they watched the video back together, they both laughed at first, until they noticed something chilling. As she zoomed the camera out, in the background, a dark figure could be seen peeking from the doorway behind him. It appeared for just a moment before disappearing the instant she zoomed back in. What made this even stranger is that they were supposed to be alone in the house. No one else was there. So what was that figure in the doorway? Was it simply a trick of the shadows, or had something else been sharing this space with them that night? In New Age belief systems, it's often said that human beings hold hidden powers within themselves. Through meditation, deep focus, and connecting with the inner self, people claim it's possible to raise one's vibration to a higher frequency. By doing this, they say we can unlock abilities far beyond what ordinary humans are thought to be capable of. Now take a look at this woman. A crowd of people had lined up just to be near her and to experience her presence. What makes this so unusual is that when she stares directly into someone's eyes, their reaction is intense, and some report feeling overwhelmed, while in one instance, a person even passes out entirely. Witnesses believe that she has reached a much higher level of vibration, something so elevated that it physically affects others around her. The mystery here is that not much is actually known about her. Who is she really, and what exactly is she doing? Some speculate that she may be practicing a form of hypnosis. Others suggest it could be something deeper, perhaps even a form of dark magic or energy manipulation. Is she truly operating on a higher spiritual frequency, or is this just a cleverly disguised psychological trick? This next footage was shared by a security guard working the night shift at an apartment complex. He was doing his usual rounds, monitoring the security cameras from his desk when something unusual caught his eye. On the screen, he noticed a white, human-shaped figure standing eerily still at the end of the hallway, right in front of one of the apartment doors. The figure didn't move much, it just swayed gently, almost like it was caught in some kind of trance. Now, this man had been working at the building for a long time, and according to him, strange things happened there all the time. He's heard unexplained noises, seen lights flicker for no reason, and even had tenants report odd experiences, but this time, he finally managed to catch something on camera. After reviewing the footage again and again, he's now convinced that there's something not right in that building. What do you think? This next footage was emailed in by a fan. It's a piece of security camera footage they captured from their own home, and it's one of the strangest things we've seen in a while. In the clip, you'll see what looks like two long, glowing shapes. They're bright, almost like beams of light, and they just appear out of nowhere. The whole thing happened late at night, and the objects weren't there 1 second, and then suddenly they were. At first, I thought they could be legs, maybe ghost legs like the lower half of an apparition passing through. But the more you watch the footage, the more confusing it gets. The shapes don't move like legs, they shift, hover, and almost float around in a natural way. It's really hard to tell what they are. Some viewers who've seen this footage think they might be drones, but if they are, where's the body or light source? These things aren't blinking like regular drones, they're just two long, bright, solid forms, and they move in eerie silence. Others believe this could be some kind of heavy energy or spirit manifestation, and honestly, the setting, the timing, and the way it moves make that theory hard to ignore. So what do you think it is? From time to time, we come across footage that makes people question whether our reality is truly stable or if it's somehow glitching out. This footage is one of those strange cases. A car's dash cam captured something bizarre while driving. The vehicle was traveling on the left side of the road when the car in front suddenly swerved as if trying to avoid something. In that instant, another black car seemed to appear out of nowhere, heading directly toward them. The strange part is that the dash cam did not capture this black car entering from any direction. It was simply there, in the middle of the road, as if it had materialized from thin air. The moment was so quick and so unusual that many people online are struggling to explain it. Some argue that it could have been the angle of the camera, a trick of perspective that made the black car seem like it appeared suddenly, but others are convinced this is much more than that. To them, this is clear evidence of a reality glitch. There are even those who believe the black car came from a portal, emerging just for a brief moment before continuing on its path. Whatever it was, it's left drivers on the road confused and viewers who saw the footage unsettled. What do you think happened here? Some office workers believed that the place they were working in might be haunted, so to test their suspicions, they went back and checked the security footage from the office after work hours. What they found only seemed to confirm their fears. In the first clip, we see the hallway late at night. Everything looks quite normal until the camera zooms in on the far end of the corridor. That's when a strange figure comes into view. It was standing completely still. It looks like a person wrapped in a white cloth from head to toe. The next piece of footage is even more unsettling. This time, the camera inside one of the offices captures the same figure again. It appears through the window before quickly slipping back out of sight. Skeptics have suggested it could just be a hoax, someone in costume playing tricks on the cameras, but others believe this could very well be evidence of a spirit, perhaps the ghost that haunts this very building. What do you think? For years now, we've seen countless videos and conspiracy theories about so-called reptilians. Many dismiss them as camera glitches or tricks of the light, especially those strange face distortions we see on live TV. But for those who are paying attention, there's a growing belief that these glitches might not be accidents, they might be evidence. Take a look at this footage.
Eliminamos vários ministérios da máquina pública. E ao mesmo tempo, nós não vamos parar por aí. Já estão encomendados.
It was taken during a live broadcast of a Brazilian politician giving a speech. Behind him stood a group of people. But as the politician began to talk, his face started to shift. Watch closely. You'll notice his nose narrow, his jaw tightens, and the structure of his face appears to contort right before the camera. And then he suddenly begins to cough. He raises his hand to cover his mouth, but his voice also changes, morphing into something that doesn't quite sound human. It's not a regular cough or someone losing their voice. It sounds deeper, almost like a guttural growl. Oddly enough, right after this happens, the camera angle changes. Instead of a close-up shot, the broadcast suddenly cuts to a wide view from the back of the room, as if trying to obscure what just happened. But even from that angle, you can see someone in the crowd freeze in place, clearly shocked by something they just witnessed, their eyes locked on the politician. Could this have been a coincidence or an attempt to hide something? Something about this just doesn't sit right. Watch it again and look closer. There might be more going on than we've been told.
Já estão encomendados dentro de uma pastilha. Já estão encomendados estudos para eliminar. Chega, é muito. Já estão.
The next video was shared by a man who was walking past an abandoned building in Scotland when something strange caught his attention. He said he started to hear this strange banging noise like someone was aggressively kicking something. So he followed the sound to the back of the building to see what was going on, and that's when he found it. There was this old wooden door, completely sealed, but it was being kicked in from the inside. And as he recorded, you can see it happen. The bottom half of the door opens slightly, but when the camera pans over the open gap, there's no one there, just a space behind the door. The building itself is believed to be haunted, and honestly, after seeing this, it's hard to argue with that. What makes it even creepier is that there's no wind at all. You can see the nearby trees in the video completely still. So it's not like a gust came through and caused the movement. The man who filmed it believes this could have been the work of a ghost, and after watching it for yourself, you might just agree.
You think it's a ghost?
It is a ghost.
It's just a wind.
Mate. Must be a ghost.
No, it's a wind.
No, it's a ghost.
Let's go. It's a fucking ghost.
The FDA has recently came out with a serious announcement regarding a popular seafood product. According to their statement, a particular shrimp brand, the Great Value Shrimp, has been deemed unsafe for consumption. The reason behind this shocking alert is even more disturbing. Officials claim that the shrimp has been found to have been contaminated with a radioactive substance, raising immediate health concerns. Consumers are being urged to avoid eating this product until further notice, and investigations are ongoing to determine how such contamination could have happened in the first place. This has left many people stunned, especially considering how widely this brand is distributed. If true, the implications for both public health and food safety regulations are huge. What do you think about it? What is even going on here? A man said he rushed outside after hearing some strange noises that sounded like dogs. But what he captured on camera is nothing short of bizarre. Right there in front of him were two dogs floating mid-air, their mouths somehow locked together as if glued. On the ground, a third dog was frantically jumping and barking, trying desperately to pull him down. The scene is beyond strange. Just look at that. Then in just a few seconds, one of the dogs suddenly drops to the ground, but instead of the other following, its body shifts and lines up perfectly against the wall, standing unnaturally straight as if something unseen was holding it there. This has left viewers completely divided. Some believe what we are seeing is a form of black magic or witchcraft at work. Others argue that the dogs might have gotten tangled in some sort of wire or thin rope that we can't see in the footage, though that explanation doesn't quite account for the way one dog slammed down while the other stayed stuck to the wall. But skeptics are convinced this is just clever editing, but even they admit it's one of the more convincing clips out there. So what do you think really happened? This one's for all the tech lovers and spider fans, if that's even a combo. A woman felt something odd while trying to capture a spider on camera, and what happened left everyone scratching their heads. So here's what went down. She had trapped a spider under a glass cup and decided to film it up close with her phone. As she zoomed in and tapped on her phone screen to focus, something strange happened. The spider reacted. It flinched, moved, or responded every time she tapped on her phone's screen, but when she tapped directly on the glass cup in real life, the spider didn't react at all. So how is this even possible? Well, it turns out the spiders have incredibly sensitive senses. Some species can detect heat signatures, subtle vibrations, and even tiny electrical fields in the environment. And modern smartphones, especially those with LiDAR scanners for 3D scanning or Face ID, emit infrared pulses and very mild electromagnetic fields. The spider sitting under the glass couldn't feel the physical tap, but when the phone's LiDAR pinged out a signal, it likely detected the infrared pulses. To the spider, it felt like something was there, even though nothing physically touched it. So in a way, it's like the spider was reacting to a ghost touch from a machine. Looks like Peter Parker might have been right. Those spidey senses are no joke. Ever seen something like this happen? Drop your strangest bug encounters in the comments.
It's like if it feels what I'm touching on the camera.
Okay, go. Ooh, that is so weird.
Dude, how and why?
Ew.
There's a man on TikTok who's been getting a lot of attention lately for posting strange and intriguing footage online. In one particular video, he shows what looks like a furry orange creature hidden under a pile of leaves near the base of the tree. The way it's tucked away and the way he approaches it makes the whole scene feel mysterious. But then he goes on to do an entire series showing how he carefully uses a cloth to lift this creature, almost like he's rescuing it. He carries it home, places it in a box, and even pretends to care for it like a fragile little being. Naturally, the video blew up. People were obsessed, speculating on what kind of animal it could be. Some thought it was an undiscovered species, others said it looked like a forest spirit or cryptid. But here's the twist. It's completely fake. Turns out the creature is nothing more than a pillow or plush toy, and to be fair, if you visit the man's bio, he clearly states that he makes fake content, but a lot of viewers missed that completely. People got so caught up in the mystery that they didn't bother to check who this guy was. It became a perfect example of how easy it is to be fooled online.
Ó, o rabão dele, ó. Tira a mão, ó.
Olha tudo isso.
Para!
Acho que ele tá comendo.
Sometimes fires seem to start out of nowhere with no logical explanation, and that's exactly what happened to a young man who was visiting his grandparents' house. He was sitting alone in the living room when he suddenly noticed what looked like flames flickering above the refrigerator in the kitchen. But when he looked directly at it, there was no actual fire. Confused, he pulled out his phone and began recording. What the camera captured has left people stunned. In the footage, a figure made of flames seems to emerge from the top of the fridge, almost like a fiery silhouette. Then as quickly as it appeared, it slipped back behind the refrigerator and vanished. Thinking maybe he'd imagined it, he panned the camera around to check the kitchen. For a split second, you can see a strange creature's head poke out from the side of the fridge. It wasn't human. It was small, fast, and with features that looked unnatural. Then, in an instant, it also disappeared. The young man swears he was completely alone in the house at the time, yet the footage shows someone else was there. Viewers online are divided. Some believe this entity might have been trying to lure him closer using the illusion of flames. Others suggest it was a jealous or mischievous creature using fire to draw attention, or maybe even attempting to start a real fire but failing. To this day, no one has a clear answer. Was it a spirit of fire, a trick of the camera, or something much darker hidden in that home? This next clip comes from a classic movie that was filmed all the way back in 1953. The film is called Niagara, but over the years, people who have rewatched the movie began noticing something very unusual hidden in one of the scenes. In the scene, the woman climbs onto the rocks and looks up as the helicopter flies overhead. But if you look carefully at the wide shot of the sky, there's something strange there. Just above them, another craft seems to appear. It's faint and almost blends into the clouds. When you pause at the right moment, it looks almost like a saucer-shaped object. It's subtle and easy to miss unless you're really paying attention. Now the question is, what exactly are we looking at? Could this have been a simple mistake of the film reel, maybe a reflection or some kind of lens artifact? Or could it be that the filmmakers accidentally captured a UFO they didn't even realize at the time? What do you think?
Wow. Wow. Nature is a curious thing. Now, I'm sure we're going to get conspiracy theorists around here saying, it's the end of the world and this is strange things happening and all the rest of it, but I just think it's nature doing its thing. That's the end of the episode. Tell me what you think. Write to me in the comments section. You know I look, you know that I comment if I feel I need to. Once again, if you want to shout out, I will be doing another shout out video at some particular point in time, but in order for me to be able to see it, do me a favor, put Steve in capital letters, tell me the reason for the shout out, and give me your name, not just your username and stuff. Tell me who you are, where you're from. If you got any videos, you got anything that you think we would like to see, and maybe we can stick it on the channel, then please send it to us at classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing, and if we like it, we'll let you know. I've been Steve. This has been your dose of classified captures for this episode. Now do me a favor. Share this with as many people as you can. And I'll see you in the next one.